Hello, my friends. This broadcast is about explaining why my court case is a fake one and why my son should be returned home as soon as possible. I just want to remind you that in a judgment of Judge Hamilton, some from November 2015, she wrote as follows. I show you document, paragraph 211 to 112. The reality of this case is that in the absence of sustained psychotherapy for the father, coupled with the joint therapy with my son, I don't give name of my son, you see, to repair the maladaptive behavior, the father is not able to safely parent his son. You get it right, yeah, correct? This is better. Again, paragraph 211. The reality of this case is that in the absence of sustained psychotherapy for the father, coupled with the joint therapy with his son, to repair the maladaptive behavior, the father is not able to safely parent. On the assumption that the father full participate in therapy, such therapy would take at least 12 months to affect any change. The realistic option is this case, either return to father care, alternative long-term foster care, and well, the rest we know. Then goes down some analysis of my relatives in the US. Right, okay. Now please see another document. So I went to my GP and I asked him to be referred to a professional. Also, I want to remind you that I was diagnosed with disgusting so-called inherited Holocaust trauma. So, because my father was in ghetto, 1941 and 1944, I was told that in 70 years after the war, somehow I inherited his Holocaust trauma, and that's why I cannot parent my son. It's quite disgusting because we have to assume that every Israeli child has to be under suspicion and be potentially taken into foster care. Doesn't make any sense. Not only Israeli Jewish children, but also, I believe, black children of black people, people of color, has to be taken into care because their ancestors been slaves, been taken to US from Africa, so have to be also under suspicion, isn't it? Nonsense. Judge Hamilton said she does not care which trauma I have, but I have some trauma. I have to be treated. So I went to my GP, who referred me to some, well, he didn't find anything wrong with me, but he referred me to some institution which was supposed to treat my trauma. Canada House. Referral. So I send you this, I will show you this document as well. Can you see it? Kenton Medway, NHS and Social Care Partnership Trust, Community Mental Health Team. So I make a reference to the original source so I can discuss it. Their doctor, well, name is missed, doesn't matter. Eugene Lukjanenko. This is a number, Scott Avenue, my address. Thank you for your referral. dated 6 April 2016. This case was discussed with Dr. Soundararajan, consultant psychiatrist, and from the information provided, Mr. Lukjanenko does not require input from secondary mental health services at this time. Our recommendation is that you kindly review Mr. Lukjanenko and refer to primary care counseling. On this occasion, we have not offered an appointment. However, should you need to re-refer, in the future, please do not hesitate to do us. So there was a view that they will want to refer me to counseling service. I went to this counseling service, and now we see what they said to me. Counseling service. Counseling service. Okay. Again, private confidential, Mr. Lukjanenko. There, Eugene. Assessment. You could see it all, I hope, yeah? Thank you for attending your assessment appointment with me on Wednesday, 11th of May, 2016, in which you reported that you have been experiencing difficulties regarding your son back from child social services. As part of your assessment, we looked at the questionnaires you had completed. Your patient health questionnaire score was 0, indicating non-clinical symptoms of depression, and your generalized anxiety disorder score was 3, indicating non-clinical symptoms of anxiety. Your core clinical outcomes in routine evaluation score was 7, indicating low levels of psychological distress. You reported no concerns regarding risk to yourself and others. At the end of your appointment, you were offered counseling sessions to talk about difficulties you are experiencing relating to your son being in foster care. You reported that you do not think that you require support at this time. You reported that you try to talk to friends about difficulties you have been experiencing, which you find helpful. We agreed that for you to be discharged from the service and to be referred back to your GP. You stated that if you find that you are struggling to cope, you will refer yourself back to our services. Should you feel you need urgent support and you have immediate concerns regarding risk to yourself or others, we would advise that you make an appointment to see your GP and contact helpline mental health matters. Okay, 24-hour service, your sincerely signature. See. So previously, who is saying me? No, guys, everything will be exposed what these people do to me. So, summing up, you just saw part of judgment, Judge Hamilton, who advised me that, based on my assessment, that I need some treatment of my trauma. It was diagnosed as an inherited Holocaust trauma. As I said, quite stupid, and I would call it anti-Semitic diagnosis, because you can't really put in care every child whose parents been in Holocaust. My mother was not even in the Holocaust. She had nothing to do with it. She was evacuated during the war. After 70 years after the war, my son should stay in care because his grandfather was in ghetto. I don't understand what this. Good, you had your kids. I don't know. I have no clue what you're talking about. Anyway, so this is absurd, and I just produced part of the judgment. I also produced letter from professional, from Canada House, from Think Action Medway and Swale. You make me laugh. It depends who is watching. Sorry, just don't disturb me. I have to finish it. It's not. I mean, so my son spent a year in care for what? For nothing, obviously. So they wasted taxpayers' money for a fee to this so-called expert witness, and I think 5,000 grants. So they also wasted money to keep my son in the foster care. Now it all should come to end, because there is no case here and child should be returned back home. So I produced 2 documents to you. I hope it's quite enough to see. All right, so furthermore, there was a change of a social worker now, but I was told doesn't mean change of the policy. So I look forward to see the social worker. I don't want to fight with Medway. All what I want is my son back to my care. He was the same, so I really do not need to drag this issue any further. There was an appeal from my supporter from US, will be more appeal. There is no perfect parent or perfect children. I never pretended to be a perfect father, but I'm his single carer. I cared him since he was 3 years and 6 months. I love him dearly, so he should not become an orphan because some psychiatrist, some expert witness just make some sort of stupid assessments which doesn't have absolutely clean medical card. There is no issue to keep my son in the foster care. I can guarantee Medway I'm not going to pursue any legal action against you, name and shame you, as long as my son will become back to my care. What these people do is they try to use my son in fighting against me. It's so stupid and silly what they do. But to prevent a child to see he is dead, this is really crime. It brings him lots of damage. This is really, it's very, very bad to prevent a child to see his father. You see, as if I'm sort of dangerous to him. It's unexcusable. It shouldn't happen. They have lots of children to take care of. There are lots of children of some abusers or some drug abusers or alcoholics. So let's be busy with it. There is 480 children in care of Medway Council. I know at least 2 other families who suffered, family of Sarah Ruth and Matt Tidmarsh. They also raised their voice. So, I mean, I'm not sure what Medway Council trying to achieve, what Director of Children's Services is thinking about, and Domini, you see. Always in every meeting I offer them to cooperate. They don't want to listen. So if they don't want to listen, they will listen to voice of other people then. Why my child should stay in care? For what? I own my home. I'm a normal person. I'm not rich at all. You see, I have some income, so they just keep him. I strongly suspect they keep in care children who do not need to be in care at all. So, no reason, no issue with me. Judge said, he must get ear therapy. Eugene want to cooperate. He went to GP. He found nothing in me. Sent him to professionals. They didn't want even to be bothered to look because I understand it's absolutely nothing. Counseling service, nothing. End of story. Child should come back home as soon as possible. I raised this issue with the judge Skarat on a contact hearing. He simply just ignores that, you see. So then I have to raise this issue again and again till I will be heard. As long as this video will be watched by Medway Children's Services, as I'm saying again, I want to reiterate, if you feel that I need some improvement, as there is no perfect parent, I'm quite happy to make any improvement, but you have to realize that you are now bring damage to my son by keeping him in care and preventing him to see his father. You know, what they actually do, my friends, they do things like, I think even Nazi did not do it. My dad was in ghetto, and he was not separated from his family. He was very lucky because he was in the ghetto in Ukraine, and there were Romanians who was basically running this ghetto, so to speak, not Germans. It was lots of suffering, how people died from hunger, from illnesses, but he was with his mom, with his dad, with his other relatives. So isn't it, this cruelty is just beggars belief, you see. So just keep my single son from his dad. As I say, you see him 4 times a year. Why 4 times a year? Because if you see him more often, it's not good for him. Because it brings him an idea he will coming back home. Isn't it cruelty beyond belief? Just think about anyone who will watch this video. There is no justification for him not to see his father. What only justification when I'm telling him that you're coming back home. I don't let him to, as I say, to settle down. So if you not let him settle down, if you are against us, you don't see your child. And with this disgusting way, unfortunately, Judge Hamilton also participated, but I can understand she was misguided by this wrong assessment. That's why she put it. If she knew views that I don't need any therapy, I believe she wouldn't make this recommendation. That's about it. Just give a look when I start this video. It's all extremely upsetting. It's all not upsetting, it's actually tragic. And now they use my son to shut me up. So to my son they say that if your dad do not stop this campaign, you'll not come back home. And to me, and when I stop this campaign, they will tell to my son that he accepted you stay in care. And to me they say he never come back home. Just why? No why. Just because some people just want it. It's not my fault that they behaved like that. There was, of course, issues. I do not, deny it. There were issues. To my view, it was the fault of Medway Children's Services, who took him into care last time without enough justification and kept him there. And that was, expert also said that he was damaged in the foster care. But I don't want to even to think about that. I just want him to come back and just to forget it all. Please, and Domini, let him, my son, come back home. This issue will not go away. I'm not parent like others. I'm not accepting this nonsense from you. See, not accept my child should lose his best use care to be with his dad. Do I need to explain people who listen to me what means to stay with the father with his single carer or to stay with the strangers who got just paid for his caring? There should be some humanity left. There should be some humanity in Anne Domini and Ian Sutherland, you see. I don't want really to continue this campaign of fighting against you, neither my supporters, but you are facing now thousands of people from many different countries, and I really strongly ask you and advise you to stop this. And to bring my child back home, we don't need to go to courts for it. You know exactly what should be done. So I respectfully ask you to put an end on it, like I ask you every time when I have this opportunity. If you do not want to listen to me, don't want to listen to thousands of people, well, then I'm afraid you will face strong opposition to it. We know that social worker B.C. Archer, she already gone from a case of my son, and then she said it was not her fault, it was the fault of her management. Well, I don't know whoever fault it is, but I wish her good luck to find any job with her name full of internet, full of Google and everywhere. B.C. Archer, ex-social worker of my son, yes. She was quite cruel person. She didn't allow me to pass letter from his grandfather. I mean, we showed this letter. It is innocent letter. She didn't allow to pass him birthday cards from his supporters. She didn't allow me even to say that I want him back to my care. Can you imagine that? It's very cruel. And this cruelty is unexcusable. And I really think that she brought emotional harm to my son. So if Medway will care about professional sort of corporative integrity and to keep just their ranks close, then everyone who will bring damage to my son, he will follow the same fate as a B.C. Archer. I'm threatened with prison now. Well, you know, this event is publicized on the Facebook, so because I want my son back, who was taken on a false assessment, they want me to prison. Can you imagine that? They're just out of their mind. We are not in North Korea. That I have to be dragged to prison because I dare to criticize Medway Council? Not even council, but just some few people from Medway Council. Utterly disgusting. I want to show a letter from GP as well, but by some reason, hang on. Just not easy to read, not to read, but to show you. By some reason, it sort of gets. Let's see. This one is quite clear. I can show this to you. Yeah, GP letter, yes. Second. Mr. Eugene Lukjanenko, it's a referral to some psychologist. Well, I prefer to go to NHS at the end of the day for referral. I'm writing with regards to the above named gentleman who came to see me on the 31st of March with an advocate from mental health team, Chloe Newton. Has a 13-year-old son who has been currently in foster care since April 2016. This is second time. Previous time before was for 1 year, 2013. Says first time he left son alone for a few hours and a small fire occurred at home and the fire brigade was called and son was taken into care. Whilst in care he was playing Call of Duty computer game and on return to him was not himself and he was referred to psychiatry. In March 2015 son was very bad and suicidal. Father called 999 and after this for neglect son was taken away from him. Social care arranged for psychological review done September 2015 and he says he has been diagnosed with Holocaust trauma, also born in 957. Been told he needs therapy. He touched about this and he has a large document with him about all of this. Needs second opinion and therefore referral to CMHT. He has no mental health symptoms apart from feeling stressed and upset at current situation. No regular medication, no other PMH. I know what PMH is. Lives alone now, has been sole guardian of son since he was age 3 years and 6 months. Son was born in Thailand. Mother's whereabouts unknown. No contact. He has no other children. Is of Jewish origin. Mr. Lukjanenko has all relevant documents with him and asking for an urgent second opinion from a psychologist to review him again as he feels his diagnosis is incorrect and he was born after the Holocaust. He feels he does not need any therapy and is doing all that is being asked of him to get his son back. He would like the matter resolved as quickly as possible, as being without his son is causing him a great deal of stress. He is on no regular medication and Eugene has all relevant documentation reports with him. Kind regards, yours sincerely, Dr. Nandra Malling Health Lead GP. So that's about it. I'll make another view of this document so people can see. I hope it's clear enough here. Isn't it clear? I do hope it's clear. Can I get better view? Right, so that's, here we are. Then I have to use Twitter to distribute this document as much as possible. It's official doctor's documents. Yeah. My ordeal really incredible. I was twice arrested, you see. I was even charged with neglect. But when it was a court, none of bring no any charges against me, no any proofs. Police didn't come. So they all did it because they wanted to drag this case and to give a chance to Medway Council to cook a case against me. So that's how they operate. People who don't know me, who don't know case, who not involved in this child protection thing, they could suspect something happened. Something was, could be not smoke without fire. That's true. I mean, of course, that you can see my child was seriously damaged first time, second time. Secondly, I really left him alone for a few hours. It was really another child climbed the fence and made some small fire, but it's not reason just to damage my son so severely. And these people, these things are above law, you know. Children's services are above law. They have everything in-house. Judges, solicitors, just everybody. So people are supposed to comply with them. Media cannot write because it's all yeah. Anyway, so I have to now close because someone is trying to contact me, whom I need to talk. Thank you for your time. All the best.